Bonjour, hi, привет, and welcome to our second USO Spotlight video. My name is Marc Darmohraj, and I am SUSK Vice President East for this school year. Today, I am honored to host the president and founder of a new Ukrainian club this year, the Association étudiante ukrainienne de l'Université de Montréal, to find out more about her experience in starting a new club from the ground up. I hope you enjoy the interview. Hi, it's great to have you here. If you'd like to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Hi, so my name is Zoya Shwec. I am currently a second-year student law student at the University of Montreal, and I am the president and founder of the Association étudiante ukrainienne de l'Université de Montréal.
Thanks for coming in to answer a few questions about your brand new club.
Happy to do so.
I just want to ask to start out, what was your motivation to start a new club on campus?
So as I began my studies at Université de Montréal in the fall of last year, I did as any other Ukrainian would do. So I typed up Ukrainian club at Université de Montréal in Google, looking to join a Ukrainian student association by my university. So I was, however, quite disappointed to find out that there wasn't an active one. So in having a few Ukrainian friends attending the school, as well as knowing people who are fascinated by Ukrainian culture, as well as identifying the need and the advantage in the community to have Ukrainian representation in as many institutions as possible, I decided to start the Association étudiante ukrainienne de l'Université de Montréal in the month of July.
Oh, great. Guess the pandemic gave you time to think about it and decide that.
Yeah.
Go through with it. That's great. Speaking of, has the pandemic brought up any challenges, particular challenges for you starting a new club?
Yeah, so in starting a Ukrainian association in the midst of a pandemic, we as the founding executive faced many barriers and difficulties. So firstly, it was tedious finding students in the university who were interested in Ukrainian culture due to distanciation rules imposed and the prohibition of gatherings in the Montreal area. So in particular, when promoting clubs and associations, it's easier to gain students' interest when having, for example, a table with a large Ukrainian flag by the cafeteria or by the library. So as this was not possible to do given the circumstances, we decided to get a Facebook page started and then gather momentum through social media. So a second problem that we faced and that I predict we will continue and that I predict we will unfortunately continue to face until the pandemic comes to an end is the impossibility of having in-person social gatherings. So in fact, the best way to gather people is to create an enjoyable and fun atmosphere, as that's the best way to have people join an association as well as to meet new people. So, however, like I said, this is not a possibility. So we recognize the benefit of having virtual platforms available to us for communication purposes. And we're extremely fortunate to have these tools at our disposal at our disposal as they play a key role in reaching our membership goals.
Yeah, oh, that's great. And what have your recruiting tactics been? I mean, given the whole situation, like you said, you can't have that Ukrainian flag up and advertising to everybody near the cafeteria. So, I know you've started the Facebook page. I saw that it got a lot of traction, which is great. And so, yeah, how have you been trying to reach out to Ukrainian students on campus?
Yeah, so we got a lot of traction, and that was very exciting. I wasn't expecting to have such a turnout. That was very nice. So as there are not too many tools at our disposal, our recruiting tactic is through Facebook. So, and through word of mouth as well. So that's nice that we had a lot of associations that promoted us as well. So that was really encouraging. So as previously mentioned, we decided to start our Facebook page and we decided to share our very first Facebook post just a few weeks ago and we decided to share it on different Ukrainian Facebook pages in Montreal. So namely Ukrainians in Montreal, Ukrainians Montreal, in hopes that students of the university who follow those pages would then see our post and then be interested to join our club. So also others did end up sharing, and that was very encouraging. So for example, to the UCC Montreal Facebook page and to the Ukrainian Time radio station page, as well as to the Ukrainians in North America page, which honestly, I didn't even know that that existed. So I ended up following that, and that was very interesting. So we intend to like also continue to post on Facebook, continue to share to those Montreal Ukrainian pages, as well as to other university pages to reach as many people who would potentially be interested in joining.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people like you who, as they enrolled, they were like Ukrainian Club, Université de Montréal, and we're like, there isn't anything here. And it's like those Facebook groups are the perfect place to reach out to those people who might, they wouldn't look it up again a year later. So yeah, that's
Like,
and so what kind of events are you planning to do? It's all got to be virtual, but do you have anything that you're planning as of now?
yeah, so exactly. In an ideal world, we would have social nights such as like Baranike making night, Pisanka making night, even just like a Vishavanka night, so etc. So given the situation, we need to use different tools. So we have been looking into doing virtual social events using Zoom platforms and others. We're also looking to join our efforts with clubs in the Montreal area, namely the Concordia Ukrainian Student Union, as well as the McGill Ukrainian Student Association. We also look forward to having social events with different Ukrainian student organizations across Canada. So like the big benefit is that this would help engage new students, as this would, so in the University of Montreal, as it would introduce our small Ukrainian community by the University of Montreal to others all across Canada. And I think that would be, that would help people engage and join.
I think when you have a bigger, I mean, we have the online platform, so it's much easier to have an event with Ukrainian student organizations from the other side of the country, and I think that having a bigger social event like that, even if it's online, does kind of alleviate some of that, I guess, isolation that people are feeling, being kind of cooped up wherever they are.
Yeah. And I find that like also, sorry, also I find that a lot of people just aren't aware of the large Ukrainian network that exists. So to have the possibility via social media and these virtual tools to introduce like our new Ukrainian club to Ukrainian clubs, for example, in Toronto or out west, we're very fortunate to have this. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's great. So yeah, I guess that brings me to my final question for you. Where do you hope to see the club maybe 1 year or 2 years from now? What's, I guess, your vision for the future?
So I have big expectations. In a year from now, I expect the club to grow and to continue in membership. Also, like the University of Montreal promotes diversity and have expressed their excitement with regards to the founding of a new Ukrainian club. So I really do believe that the Association étudiante ukrainienne de l'Université de Montréal will flourish in this academic environment. I think it'll do well.
That's amazing to hear. It's great when you have the university actually promoting the club itself. Makes the whole process a little bit easier.
Yeah. And also we have other cultural clubs by the university who have promoted us as well. So that was really nice and encouraging.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you guys are really taking advantage of social media to get the word out. I hope that it really does help you guys kind of build that network. I mean, I'm sure in general, the first year starting a club, it's a lot about reaching out to people and getting the word out. So I'm really excited to see that you guys have been taking advantage of social media so well. So yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. It's always so fascinating to see how new clubs form and the processes that they have to go through to really grow and especially in a time period like this. It's kind of you guys are the first one to start a club in this kind of environment, so it's really interesting to hear your perspective and all of that. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It's really nice to have you.
Perfect. It was nice being here. Thank you.
So that wraps up our second USO Spotlight video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll be tuning in for the next one when we go out west.